Most people are still clinging to this old-school formula. Go to school, get a degree, land a job, save a little, and maybe retire comfortably. But here's the thing, they're waking up to a brutal reality. The cost of living is rising faster than wages and savings accounts. They're practically losing value every year. It's not that these steps are bad. They're just outdated. That security everyone chases? It's not in the bank. It's in the ability to earn more. It's time to flip the script. The truth is, most financially free people didn't get there by clipping coupons or skipping lattes. They focused on building a wealth mindset, not a minimalist one. Instead of obsessing over spending less, they mastered the skill of making more. That's what separates those stuck in a scarcity versus abundance mindset. One is worried about pennies, the other is playing the long game with dollars. When you shift your money beliefs, you stop seeing work as your only source of income and start seeing income as something you can scale. Let's be real. Nobody ever saved their way to millionaire status on a $40,000 salary and a 1% interest rate. It's not about discipline alone. It's about direction. The real winners study financial psychology, understand how subconscious money blocks hold them back, and reprogram their mind for wealth. They realize that the system isn't broken, it was never built for them in the first place. So they build their own. Which brings us to something crucial, how the way we think shapes the path we walk. Picture two women, Lola and Athena. Lola plays it safe, always saving, always second-guessing herself. She thinks buying a course is too expensive, but doesn't blink when spending the same on a weekend out. Athena? She invests in herself like she's betting on a sure thing because she is. Her wealth mindset isn't about being reckless, it's about being strategic. She sees money as a tool, not a trap. While Lola fears losing it, Athena focuses on multiplying it. Here's the kicker. They could have the same income, same job, same opportunities, but it's their money beliefs that write two very different stories. Lola cuts back on coffee to save a few dollars, believing wealth comes from deprivation. Athena, on the other hand, knows that financial freedom mindset isn't about cutting costs. It's about expanding capacity. She asks, how can I earn more? Instead of, what can I cut? That tiny shift changes everything. Lola's stuck in a rich versus poor mindset loop. She's been taught that working harder is the only way out, but she's already exhausted. Athena? She rewired her subconscious money blocks. She knows that mindset, not muscle, drives results. She surrounds herself with others who think big, talk investments, and strategize wealth, not just survival. And just like that, we start to see how mindset isn't just thinking differently, it's living differently. Especially when inflation starts eating away at those savings. Let's talk about the silent thief, inflation. Most people don't even notice it until their grocery bill doubles and their paycheck feels like a joke. Here's what they don't realize. When money sits in a savings account earning 1% interest while inflation climbs at 6%, they're actually losing money. That's not safety, that's slow financial erosion. And yet, so many folks still believe saving is the ultimate money mindset move. Millionaires don't leave their cash idle. They study financial psychology and learn how to make money work harder than they do. Instead of letting it collect dust, they put it into assets, real estate, dividend-paying stocks, ETFs, even REITs. It's not about taking wild risks. It's about understanding that money loses value if it's not moving. Imagine having $10,000 in the bank. In 10 years, without investing, it might feel safe, but in reality, you've lost a huge chunk of its purchasing power. This is the big mindset shift. Reprogram your mind for wealth by seeing savings as temporary, not permanent. The rich park money only long enough to move it into something that grows. They use inflation as a signal, not a setback. While others panic, they pivot. And when you start asking where your money lies instead of just how much you have, you step into a whole new financial game. A game where smart spending isn't just allowed. It's essential. Here's where most people get it twisted. They think wealth comes from restriction. Skip Starbucks, cancel the gym, say no to every little joy. But that's not how the financially free operate. They don't penny pinch their way to success, they spend smarter. Investing in your health, education, and high-income skills isn't a luxury. It's a strategy. That gym membership, it fuels energy. That course, it increases earning potential. That's not spending. That's multiplying. Athena, for example, doesn't flinch at paying $200 for a workshop that sharpens her skills, because she knows it'll return in the thousands. Meanwhile, Lola hesitates over a $40 book that could shift her entire money mindset. That's the financial psychology divide. One sees spending as loss, the other as leverage. Millionaire habits aren't always flashy. They often look like intentional decisions that the average person sees as too much. To build a true wealth mindset, you've got to flip the way you evaluate cost. Ask, what will this give me back? Instead of, how much does it take from me? It's not about treating yourself. It's about treating your future self like she matters. Whether it's a meal plan to boost focus or a business coach who doubles your revenue, smart spending becomes the most underrated investment strategy of all. And when that habit kicks in, you start looking at assets and liabilities very differently. Ever heard someone say, I deserve this? And next thing you know, they've dropped $2,000 on a designer bag, while their bank account silently weeps. Here's the truth. If you can't afford to buy it twice and still invest, then it's not wealth, it's ego. That's the difference between an asset and a liability. Assets make you money. Liabilities drain it. And most people are buying liabilities dressed up as status. See, the financially savvy do the math others don't. That $2,000 bag is not just $2,000. It's the $40,000 it could have become if invested with decent compounding returns. The wealthy ask, what's the opportunity cost here? That's how they stay rich. They'd rather put that money in something like Apple stock, an ETF, or even a rental property that pays them monthly. Meanwhile, poor money beliefs make people chase validation over value. And no, this doesn't mean you can't have luxury. It just means you buy it after your assets are working for you. When your dividends cover the cost, go for it. That's how the rich use money. They make it earn its place. The subconscious money blocks many carry are tied to identity. I need to look successful to feel successful. But real financial freedom mindset? It starts when you choose growth over image, which leads us right into the real secret sauce. Multiple income streams. If there's one thing the rich never rely on, it's just one paycheck. One income stream is way too fragile, lose your job and the whole house of cards collapses. But with multiple income streams, you build stability and scalability. It's not just a millionaire habit, it's a survival tactic in today's economy. The wealthy understand this early. They create income that doesn't depend on their time or physical presence. That's how financial freedom becomes inevitable, not optional. Think digital. Online courses, YouTube channels, Canva templates, ebooks, Etsy shops, affiliate marketing. These aren't pipe dreams anymore, they're low-cost, high-return income vehicles. One well-designed digital product can sell hundreds of times while you sleep. And UGC? User-generated content is exploding. Brands are paying everyday people, no influencer status needed. Your voice, your story, your perspective, that's currency now. The abundance mindset sees opportunity everywhere. And let's not forget, most people start small. The point isn't to become a mogul overnight, it's to start building foundations. While Lola waits for the perfect idea, Athena launches a $10 digital planner and learns as she goes. That's how you reprogram your mind for wealth. By doing, testing, growing. One stream becomes two. Two become four. Suddenly, you're not earning money, you're building a money machine. And if time's tight, don't worry. Because yes, even your apps can work for you. Now, let's talk passive income for the super busy. You don't need to launch a business tomorrow to start earning on the side. In fact, your phone's already a tool, you just haven't been using it that way. Apps like Honeygain literally pay you for your unused internet bandwidth. It's not thousands a month, but it's something. And something is how it all starts. That's the financial psychology shift. Understanding that even the smallest streams flow into big rivers over time. The rich think, how can I automate this? That's why they use cashback apps, referral platforms, and micro-investing tools like Acorns or Plum. It's not about getting rich from one app. It's about building a financial ecosystem. Every bit of extra income either feeds investments or builds buffer. The poor mindset says, that's not enough to matter. The wealth mindset says, stack enough of these, and now we're talking real money. These tools aren't just clever, they're training your subconscious money blocks to loosen their grip. You start seeing your phone less as a distraction and more as a money magnet. And when these little wins build momentum, the idea of starting small becomes a superpower. Which is why the next piece of the puzzle is so important. Starting early with investing, no matter how small it seems at first. Time is the real MVP when it comes to wealth building. Most people wait until they have enough money to invest, but that's a trap. The truth? Even $50 invested early can turn into thousands thanks to compound interest. The rich aren't just smarter, they're earlier. They know the power of starting now. Whether it's in index funds, ETFs like VOO, or fractional shares of companies like Amazon or Nvidia, the point is to begin. Athena doesn't obsess over timing the market. She just makes sure she's in the market. Meanwhile, Lola's still hesitating, thinking investing is too risky. But here's the kicker. Not investing is the biggest risk of all. Inflation chips away at savings, opportunities pass by, and the cost of waiting adds up. It's not about throwing your life savings into crypto. It's about building consistency. Little by little, month by month. Reprogramming your mind for wealth means shifting your identity. From spender to investor, it becomes second nature. Investing isn't something rich people do. It's something people become rich by doing. And the earlier you start, the more freedom you're buying in your future. But investing doesn't stop with stocks. Some of the biggest financial wins come from something a lot more tangible. Like property. Buying a house used to be the ultimate dream, right? But here's the plot twist. Owning your home isn't always an asset. At least, not in the way people think. If it's just sitting there, draining your income, it's actually a liability. The rich know this. They turn property into cash flow. Think rental income, Airbnb, or HMOs, house in multiple occupation. It's not just about owning, it's about owning wisely. Athena buys a duplex, lives in one unit, and rents the other. Her mortgage, covered. Meanwhile, Lola buys a home that eats half her income every month and calls it an investment. See the difference? One builds financial freedom, the other builds debt stress. That's the power of a wealth mindset. Seeing beyond the shiny homeowner badge and focusing on how to make that property pay you. Rich versus poor mindset in action, plain and simple. Reprogramming your mind for wealth means seeing real estate not as the goal, but as a vehicle. A smartly rented house? That's income. A well-located Airbnb? That's leverage. The question shifts from, can I afford this? To, can this afford me? And once you start seeing your money choices as opportunities for return, you start shifting your language too, because words build mindset more than we realize. Most people don't realize how powerful their words are when it comes to money. I can't afford that. I'm broke. I'll never be rich. Every time you say something like that, you're reinforcing a scarcity mindset that keeps you exactly where you are. The wealthy don't just change their bank accounts, they change their vocabulary. Words like invest, return, and opportunity start replacing cost, expense, and loss. That's not fluff, it's financial psychology in motion. Athena doesn't say, that's too expensive. She says, how can I make that affordable? That small tweak opens up possibility. She also reevaluates spending not based on price, but based on outcome. Is this £100 going to give her a return in health, income, mindset, or skill? If yes, she moves forward. Meanwhile, Lola is still caught in the loop of guilt and shame around money, unknowingly strengthening her subconscious money blocks every time she speaks. And credit? Most people treat it like a monster under the bed. But the rich? They treat it like a tool. Used responsibly, credit builds your financial foundation, raises your score, opens up funding, and proves you're trustworthy to lenders. It's not just about buying power, it's about strategy. Once your thoughts and language change, your habits follow. And when your habits shift, your circle needs to level up too. Here's the hard truth. Your environment is your outcome. You can read all the books, recite all the affirmations, and invest in the best assets. But if you're surrounded by people stuck in a scarcity mindset, you'll always feel like you're dragging a weight behind you. The rich understand this early. They intentionally build their circle. People who talk growth, not gossip. Strategy, not struggle. Possibility, not problems. Athena seeks out rooms where she's not the smartest one there. She joins communities, attends networking events, invests in masterminds, even if it stretches her. Why? Because proximity is power. Being around people who normalize six-figure months and passive income rewires your beliefs. Lola, on the other hand, still takes money advice from people who've never been financially free. That's how the cycle continues. Your wealth mindset doesn't just live in your bank account. It echoes in your conversations, your group chats, your dinner tables. When you're constantly around people who believe making money is hard, risky, or selfish, you unconsciously limit yourself. But get around people who talk about reprogramming your mind for wealth like it's just part of daily life. That's when things really start to shift. And often, that transformation starts with something simple, continuous education. If there's one millionaire habit you must adopt, it's never stopping your learning. The rich treat education like a lifestyle, not a phase. It's not about school, it's about skills. Whether you're in a corporate job, freelancing, or building a business, the moment you stop learning, your income stops growing. Financial freedom mindset isn't about knowing everything. It's about constantly expanding what you know enough about. Athena's bookshelf is stacked with game changers. Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Think and Grow Rich, The Psychology of Money. She listens to podcasts while commuting, takes online courses on weekends, and studies investing like it's a second language. Lola? She scrolls Instagram and complains that rich people have all the luck, but luck has nothing on preparation, and that's where financial psychology kicks in hard. The more you know, the more you can leverage. Knowledge multiplies opportunity. When you learn how to read a balance sheet, pitch an idea, sell a product, negotiate a raise, or optimize your taxes, that's real power. That's what turns ordinary people into unstoppable forces. You can't reprogram your mind for wealth without feeding it new, empowering inputs. And speaking of action, now's the time to make moves, because none of this works if it just stays in your head. All right, time to get your hands dirty. Knowledge without action, just noise. The rich don't just know what to do, they do it. So here's your blueprint. First, sign up for a credit card if you haven't already, a secured one if needed. Why? Because building your credit is a long-term wealth play. Next, attend one networking event this month. In person or online, just get in the room. Your next opportunity is probably hiding in a conversation you're avoiding. Pick one passive income stream and commit to it. Don't try to do 5 things at once, start with one. Maybe it's creating a digital product on Canva, selling something on Etsy, or launching your first TikTok as a UGC creator. Download a finance tracker app like Monarch, Inab, or even Notion templates to organize your budget. Track everything. Clarity is step 1 to changing your money beliefs. Finally, read. And I mean really read. Pick up Think and Grow Rich, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, or The Millionaire Fastlane. Don't just highlight quotes. Apply what you learn. This is how you reprogram your mind for wealth, one daily action at a time. Remember, no one's coming to save you, you are the strategy. Now, let's rewind to where this all began. The moment someone decided they weren't going to wait around for luck, parents, or permission, you've got the blueprint now, real, unfiltered knowledge most people spend years chasing. But here's the catch. Nothing changes if you don't. So ask yourself, are you going to scroll past this like every other motivational video? Or are you going to actually do something about your future? Start with just one thing. Change how you speak about money. Take that first step toward investing. Launch the side hustle. Read that book. Join that room. Because the gap between where you are and where you want to be, it's not luck and it's not money. It's action, belief, and consistency. So what are you committing to today? Drop it in the comments. I want to hear it. And if this helped you, share it with a friend or family member who needs to hear this too. The more people who shift their money mindset, the more lives we change together. And hey, don't forget to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. There's a lot more coming to help you break free, level up, and build the life you actually want. Let's get to it.